Word. There you go. And then I loved that too. Did you have a favorite funny moment or anything that really stood out to you that you were like, oh, this is really well written, or I really like this part, or anything like that, this section of the book?
I mean, I laughed more reading this book than I think I usually do reading, probably because it's not what I usually read. Um, I don't know, like nothing that really sticks out. Like it was just all so funny to me, like just the whole thing.
Me too. And I would have never, ever picked this book like off the shelf or anything. It's not my genre or anything. And I just found so many moments as I really got into it laughing. I also listened to it on Audible. And I don't know if Will Wheaton made the difference for me or not, but he was just amazing. He does Paper Towns too. If you guys like his narrating, I love that book. So if you want to check it out, it's on Libby. Anyway, Karen, tell me about you. Did your favorite character change? Did you have a favorite quote or favorite moment?
Um, I normally was writing down the quotes, but I didn't for this section. I actually liked when he said, "I don't want to be a villain anymore," and he just up and just was like, I'm done." Um, but I really like the part when he actually did get the pub um that they bought it for him. Um, so I really thought that was sweet that they did that for him.
I loved that too. I loved that too. Also, green is your color. Is that your favorite color? You look like sunshine, like springtime. It looks great on you.
Purple is my favorite
Your
color,
favorite
but
color. Yes,
I
my green
I
looks
do
great.
like green too.
Melissa, how about you? I love your background.
Thank you. I lost my notebook, which had all my notes in it, so I don't know a quote off the top of my head. But I still really like the Dolphins. Every cameo they had was just so fun and hilarious. This was a really good book.
Right? Yeah, I love them too. They're best lines of the whole book, in my opinion. Melody, how about you?
Yeah, actually, the one Jameson mentioned for sure, that was one about it's better not to be a human. Um, for this section, for me, it was all about the cats. I'm in the process of losing a cat. So, like when they left or decided not to come home with him, I lost it. Lost it again when they did come home. So, that was wonderful. But the quote too that I not cat related, um, when Charlie's talking about how he expected the leading society of villains to be smarter. He's like, I don't know why they're smarter in movies and books. They would have to be, wouldn't they? Morrison said. In the real world, they can be what people like them usually are, a bunch of dudes born into money who use that money to take advantage of other people to make even more money. It works great until they start believing that being rich makes them smart, and then they get in trouble unless they find someone else to take advantage of.
Right?
And I thought,
Yeah.
nail head.
There is so much truth and wisdom in this one. Like, I think it's supposed to be like really comical, but there's some really cool tidbits like that, like the Spotify thing and what you just said, like that just hits you, you know? You're sort of like, okay,
The author has a great presence on social media. Like his blue sky is amazing.
really? I think
Yeah,
you said that, and I haven't gotten a chance to check it out, but I'm going to. Thank you for reminding me. I'm
yeah.
definitely going to check it out. Um, Emily, we're going to come up to you because I missed you on I was like, she's either getting tea or checking on chickens.
Today was actually muck out the chicken coop day, so that was a big gross thing to do, but we do it twice a year. No, I was actually getting my coffee, and I have it in my I have a villain mug. My toxic trait is always falling for the villain, because I always do. I didn't have a change in my favorite character. Like I still love Charlie and love the cat. I think that I really appreciated Hill a lot more towards the end. So yeah.
Me too.
And I just laughed through the whole like last half of the book. And I don't know if part of that was because I was listening to it and it was Will Wheaton and I've adored him since I was, 12 or what, but yeah, he made the narration for me because being an actor, injects so much of that. And I, like Jameson said, I don't know if he's why I love Charlie so much, but Charlie is well written. But I was glad Friday it was just me up in my office. I share it with two other people because I kept just laughing. So
Me
it was great.
too.
It was great. I loved it. So
He had it, he enunciated everything, he had everything right on point. He was just perfect. Udi, how about you?
So I think my favorite part of the book, where I laughed probably the hardest, was when they were hanging up on each other via the laptops. It reminded me of old school. Like you can't do that shit anymore. Like your phone, the phones aren't flip anymore. There's nobody has a landline. Like you can't have that
Angry,
reaction. Yeah, and so and when he said, "Well, if you had that 300-inch screen, you'd be dead," and I'm just like, "Dude, you're so right." But that would be awesome.
right? Oh my God.
And then the one that probably hit me the hardest was when the dolphins were organizing their rights and they wanted the right to breed. And the fact that they had all these animals on birth control, stopping them from breeding because they didn't want them to lose their traits that they had. And I'm like, dude, you like, that's so sad. Like, I'm
It,
like, we're gonna face that, but the opposite, they're taking away our rights to have birth control
I
and
know.
abort. And I'm just like, that just resonated hard with me.
I know. I know. It hurts. It hurt. I also felt so much compassion and realized why they were so like cantankerous. You know what I mean? If you guys have ever seen Orphan Black, it's from BBC. It's a show. It's a duplicate of the same person, and none of the duplicates can get pregnant because they don't want there to be some type of like mishap with the lineage. Stephanie, how about you?
So I love the part where they were hanging up on each other too. That was my favorite. And also it was just heartwarming that he got the pub in the end. And I just thought that was really sweet. It just and like what Udi said, the birth control, the dolphins being on it and the cats, and that was just heartbreaking. But I also love the part where the whales didn't listen to Gratis. I love that part because they just were like, you know what, fuck you.
Whole chapter that
Yeah.
Emily posted about that whole chapter 26 was just hysterical. I'm just like, this whole thing went sideways. It's great. Um, did your favorite character stay the same? With who was your favorite character initially?
I think my favorite characters were the whales. And
Okay.
I think they're still my favorite character, but I adore Charlie. He's just so naive and innocent, and he's just a sweet guy.
Right. I love that he stays true to who he is,
Hmm.
even though he's faced with like so many different things and an enormous amount of freaking money. Like, but he still sticks to you know what I just love that about him. Good evening, Nikki. I love your shirt. I saw that you went and saw the play. Was Nina West in it? Yeah, I love Nina. Um, we'll just circle back to you after we get to Tara, and I wanted to ask Tara what her favorite quotes or moments or characters are.
Sorry, I'm trying to do a bunch of cleaning things, so I'm moving
No
all
worries,
around.
no reason to be
Um,
sorry.
I think in this section, it was definitely Hera that was my favorite. Um, because she's just like, no, I do what I want. Like somebody else mentioned about if she buys a house or whatever, like, she'll still get fed. It's not a big deal. And I just feel like that would be a magical life to live.
Right? I
Where you
agree
only have to worry
completely.
about do I smack you or not smack you?
I know.
Um, and I didn't really have like a super funny part this time. Like the dolphins the last time because that was my favorite. Um, but I do like just how the characters, like the dolphins and the whales, and they're like, no, we're gonna do our own thing. You can't control us, and I just really like that.
I loved it too. And when we very first started it, I was like, am I gonna like that these animals all have personalities and distinct qualities? But I ended up loving that part of it. Nikki, how about you? What are your thoughts? Did you have anything that you really stood out to you that you loved or?
Well, I don't know what all I missed since I got on late. Daylight savings time threw me way off
Oh,
on
I'm sorry,
supper
honey. Let
time.
me catch you up. Let me catch up. So, March contest we're going to be doing if you recruit anybody to book club, or you have already, you're going to be entered into a contest to win merch, any merch that you want. And I'll post the link for all that good stuff later. And then the question was, the only question we've had is favorite quote, funniest moment, or did your favorite character change?
Okay. My favorite character, it's probably got to be Morrison because she's just like no nonsense, no bullshit. I love her.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of the quotes and it's not even like it was like a heartfelt quote or anything. It's just something that made me laugh out loud. It was when he went to see the dolphins, he's like, I want to throw up from the stress. I said, but let's visit the dolphins instead. I relate to that. I get that totally. And the other one was when I can't remember exactly what they were doing. It was in chapter 23, but they said it's simple. You and I stop trying to wave our dicks around at each other for 48 hours. My job, all of our leads are men. So I relate to this so much because I think that all the time with them.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be relatable.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? That's awesome. For me, my absolute favorite part, and I laughed about it, is when Hera attacks um Evan Johnson, the guy, like to defend Charlie and like completely like rips his face off to like defend him. Loved that. And then I thought that was funny. It's just something that I sympathize with Melody losing their cat, like it's aging and like you're trying to process it because oh my God, I had a Jack Russell that lived till infinity. Like she lived to be 18 and the last year was so hard, but she was like a Cujo baby. Like she would go to war for me. She would have ripped somebody's face off. Anyway, so I love that. It was really heartwarming. And then Hera had been my favorite character the entire time. And my favorite quote was by her as well. And she said, he's taking care of me, and now it's my turn to take care of him. And it was just like, oh my God, this is too much. I need one of these intelligent cats. So we're going to start with my first question. And I thought this would be cool to learn a little bit about each other. If you can't come up with it on the fly, it's totally fine. You can put it in our YouTube video later. But at the Lombardi convocation, Charlie makes Debrev an old fashioned at his hotel bar. If someone was going to make you your favorite drink, what would you ask for it to be? And we'll start back with Tara.
Um, a Shirley Temple. I don't drink, so that's like
Ever?
always my go-to. Not usually, no.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. So not like any champagne on New Year's, nothing like that. Wow,
Nope.
that's cool. I respect
Yeah.
that. Now, Stephanie, how about you? I know you like to drink. You like your cigars and you like a nice drink.
Well, I haven't been able to drink in a couple of years now because of some medications, but my favorite when I could drink was called an Angry Pirate. You can get those down on Ohio University campus. It's like pineapple juice and blue curacao. I'm trying to think what else. What is in it? Is it vodka? Melon liqueur. It's really good.
Ooh.
It's very fruity.
Well, Ohio University is notoriously known for a party school, so I'm going to trust them on the drink concoction here. I'm thinking it's probably strong and good. How
Oh
about
yeah.
you? I know that you like the devil's lettuce like me. Do you partake in drink?
So I am actually a recovering alcoholic.
No way. Did not know
Yeah, I
that.
am 8 months, 9 months, July
Oh
27th.
my God, that's so exciting. Yay, you.
Yes,
I had no
yes.
idea.
It's been a hard journey, dude. I have been drinking for the past like fucking 20 plus years easily.
Front door. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so proud of you. How do you mind sharing how you've gotten sober? Do you in a program or?
So I almost died. I went to the local bar down the street and it was a friend's band playing. It was from when like I was with my ex, so it was a bunch of people that I was friends with him with. And so it kind of put me out of my element and I'm like, fuck, I'm at a bar, let's go. I just went ham and I had a friend drive me home and my husband was not very happy. He took
Right?
care of me, but I he I was I threw up
Hmm.
essentially and I was on my back. And he woke up and saw that I wasn't breathing and took me and knocked me on my back or knocked me over his leg and like threw me over the bed and just like started patting on my back until I started like breathing.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he saved my life seriously.
Oh my God. Oh, that's, oh my word.
And I
How did I
stopped
not know any of that?
done after that.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm proud of, and it's not something I really like to talk about because it is very traumatizing, especially coming from my background. Like I'm from a family.
Yeah.
Addiction is strong in my family.
Mine too. Mine too. Big time. Oh,
But
I'm so
but if
proud
I
of you.
could drink alcohol, I would probably I like the strong shit, so like an AMF or a Long Island iced tea, something like that. Or if it was beer, I liked Michelob Ultra. That was my jam.
Okay, okay. Long Island iced teas are a favorite of mine. So, miraculously, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't know how. My whole family are. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I quit cigarettes too. I was smoking for 20 plus years too, and I quit those cold turkey because California, of course, got rid of flavors, and I will not smoke anything that's not menthol.
My wife won't either. I quit for 18 years. I recently relapsed. I'm sure you guys saw it on Facebook, and I had such a hard time quitting. It was horrible. I
It's
tried
hard.
vaping. Oh my God, it was awful. I was like, nobody's going to take these from my little dead prying hands. But I ended up going cold turkey too, and I ended up calling it raw turkey. I was trying to say raw doggy and cold turkey. At the same- You guys, I still wake up every day thinking I really want a cigarette with my coffee, but nope, no vaping, no. I even have my little emergency Nicorette gum, but I haven't had to touch it. So yeah, we can do hard things, right? Nikki, how about you?
I got so distracted I forgot what the question was.
Um, so Charlie makes this Dobrev. Lord have mercy.
That's right, the
Um,
drink. That's right.
yeah, the drink. What would you ask for?
Pina colada. I make them all the time at home. It's my favorite go-to drink.
Oh yeah, with whipped cream and like a little cherry.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. And then
I even have the shaker so I can get it all nice and frothy and cold and
yum,
my go-to.
yum. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. That's like a Sunday plus a drink.
Hmm.
Melody, how about you?
I'm a beer drinker. Generally, like, we go down to my dad's and sit there and drink beer and listen to music. But if I'm going to go to like a good bar, and ask for a good cocktail, I want a Clover Club. It's a Prohibition era cocktail. It's got gin, lemon juice, raspberry syrup, and egg white.
Egg white.
You shake it, the egg white emulsifies it and makes it like creamy.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. It's not slimy at all. Like everybody I tell that to, they're like, "Oh God, raw egg white, that's gross." But it's really not. It's they're wonderful.
Oh, how
Um,
cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah,
Oh, that's so neat. I love beer too. It's usually my drink of choice, which may be why I'm not an alcoholic. I don't really like hard liquor, so that might be it. But
that
uh,
helps.
yeah. Melissa, how about you?
Uh, when I do drink, it's usually wine. I'm a wine drinker.
Yeah.
But if I'm ordering a mixed drink, probably a martini of some kind. I like the blueberry lemon drop ones, but any
Oh,
flavorful martini is good.
that's so fancy, so posh. I love that. Karen, do you like to drink, or do you have a favorite one?
I'm actually a lot like Udi. I am a recovering alcoholic. Um, I've been 13 years sober, so um It's been a long time. Um, I don't crave them at all anymore, so it's like, but I did enough drinking when I was younger to probably make up for all the times I haven't. Um, but I liked fruity drinks like margaritas and Sex on the Beach and all of those.
All the
Um,
fun
yes,
ones.
so and Edie, just like you, I quit smoking this week, so it's definitely interesting.
Oh my gosh, yes, it is. If you need to DM anybody for like support, please do. I'm here for you. It was so hard for me, but it was so worth it. So
Right.
worth it.
I'm actually on Chantix. I started that this week. So I had tried it before and I had a reaction to it, but I've tried it again this year. So far so good. I don't have any physical cravings. It's the mental cravings that I
That's
keep
the
like,
hardest part. Yeah, that's the hardest part with food for me.
yes.
I'm on Monjaro, so it completely gets rid of my like physical cravings, but like my mind is still wanting to like do something, you know?
Yeah.
I get that completely. They have these things on, I'll send you a link. They have these
Okay.
little things on Amazon. They have nothing in them, but they help with oral fixations and they taste kind of good. So, yeah. Jameson, so I'm thinking bourbon. Jameson, I mean,
I am a bourbon whiskey drinker. If I were gonna ask for a mixed drink, funnily enough, it would probably be either an old fashioned or a Manhattan. Those
yeah,
are my two favorites if I'm gonna drink something fancy.
yeah. Emily, how about you?
Jameson being my twin again. Um, so I am a whiskey girl through and through, that and rum. So probably would be an old fashioned, love a Manhattan. But my other one I usually will order is a redheaded slut.
Oh my gosh, there's
There's
the
there's
poem.
actually photos from my wedding of this giant cranberry juice bottle because one of my bridesmaids was a bartender. And my mom kept asking, why are all these photos with this like cranberry bottle? Which my mom is a photographer. So my mom did a lot of my photography for my reception. And I had to explain to her that it was not just cranberry juice. It was actually a giant redheaded slut, and we were all just passing it around.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
fabulous.
yeah,
There's like a
yeah.
poem. One of my friends is like, I'm a natural ginger, just So there was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a poem that you say with when you drink those that she like we would drink them when we went out, but they always gave me such bad heartburn. I don't know. Any kind of mixed
Uh,
drink for me, other than a cosmopolitan for whatever reason doesn't really bother me, but I'm usually gonna order a beer. I like IPAs, like the ones here that are like being locally made are really fun for me. Um, so that would be my drink. I just, whatever they have back there. Hi, Cicely. Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good. I'm sorry I was late. I had to bring my kid some food.
Oh, no worries at all. I'm just so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. We asked if you had any favorite quotes or a funniest moment, or did your favorite character change?
My favorite character for the last half of the book, 100% the dolphins.
Okay.
I love the dolphins. I love them so much.
Oh, I know. They're so endearing. You can't help not. They're so authentic.
I have a special place in my heart for just unrepentant turds. So I love them.
I love that. And did you have a favorite part or anything or a favorite quote?
The dolphins, just the dolphins being
The whole thing
themselves.
with yeah.
I love them.
That actually was a common theme this evening that everybody said. And then the other question that we covered was Charlie, makes an old fashioned for the Dabrov guy. Oh my God, am I saying that so wrong? I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. By Udi's Udi with the booty. Because I can't say the right name. Nuts. Anyway, the full moon is coming, so if I'm like goofy, it's because of that. I cannot be trusted when the moon is full. Anyway, if somebody was going to make you a drink, an alcoholic beverage, what would you order?
I don't drink much anymore. I feel like I used my lifetime allotment already.
Yeah.
So, um, something tropical and fruity
Yeah. Hmm. Those
or
are
beer.
fun. Oh, you like beer
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an equal opportunity lush, really.
Okay. The second thing, next question I'm going to ask is Tara would like to know what would they have done if he had agreed to stay instead of walking away? It's like they knew he'd say no and had like a backup plan already in place. Like, what would they have done if he was like, yeah, I'm going to totally do this? Do you have any thoughts on that, Tara, since it's your question?
I honestly don't know because, like I said, it's like they just knew that he was going to say, no, I'm not doing this. So they didn't even have to think about it. But I feel like they would have to come up with some sort of like contingency plan where like maybe he would have to work together with that guy or um I don't know. Like is so interesting to me because I did not see that coming. Like the whole time I was thinking, I can't wait until you say yes and you just keep going with this and like you become this really cool person villain and then it was like, no, I'm not doing that and they already knew it. So I
Right?
I also wonder if like the uncle watching him or like monitoring him, he knew just the type of person that he was and that's why he knew that he wouldn't do it. I don't know, but I really wanted him to do it.
Right? I know. I was so torn between like the decision that he made, but I also want that was one of my questions too. I was like, they really assumed a lot of things on him. Like they didn't know him that well, but I just wonder if like the cats reported back like his personality and the way he reacted to things is what I was wondering. I was a little taken aback by it though. How about you, Stephanie? Like, what do you think they would have done if he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this?
Sorry, I was having issues unmuting it. Um, so I haven't really thought too much into it. I think that he probably would have to work with Dobrev and
Hmm.
Morrison probably because they would all have to come together to figure it out. Because I can't imagine that one person could do all of that. I know Jake did it, but Charlie's not the type of person I don't think that could actually run it by himself.
No, no,
He
there's
would
just
need
so
some
much.
help.
You're right. Absolutely. Did you give any thought to it, Udi? Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Who's on your left shoulder? It would be your left, my right. Who's the little white one?
That's Aurora.
I love Aurora. I always forget her name. She's so
Yeah.
pretty. She
She's my
sleeps a lot.
sleeping beauty. Here, let me get
Yeah.
her.
Oh,
Let me
she's
bring her closer for
beautiful.
you. She's got little cuffs. Let me give her the money. Give her the money.
Oh my God, you guys look at her ears and her little nose. Oh, I just want to boop the snoot. Oh my gosh, these rats are so freaking cute. I can't stand it.
She's the most ornery one out of all of them. She's definitely the leader.
Love that. Did you give any thought to if he would have been like, I know that was one of your questions too, like, would you have done it? You know what I mean? So like, did you obviously probably considered like, what would he have done? What would they have done if he would have been a part of it?
I think they would have killed him. I think they would have milked him for what they needed from him and his connections, I guess. I think they would have milked him for that as much as they could have and then killed him off.
Probably. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's he wasn't like really hands on with all the villain stuff. Like his uncle totally pulled all the
Yeah.
strings.
Yeah, I like that's you're probably right. Nick, that's sad though.
I
Uh
know, right? It's sad to
yeah,
think about, but I think that that's what would have happened to him because he's just so sweet and innocent.
I know. I know. Nikki, is that your thought? I see you nodding.
I don't know if they would have went as far as killing him because I have a feeling like Hera would have somehow stopped that, but I could absolutely see them like paying him off or like bribing or blackmailing his way out of there.
Right? Yeah, something. She would have had
Something.
done something. Melody, did you give it any thought? Like, what if he chooses otherwise?
I agree with Udi. I think they definitely would have killed him. They discussed that in the book.
Right.
They mentioned that, and Hera stepped in and said, "Absolutely not. We're not even going there." That's what they were talking about was getting rid of him. I think uh Dobrov was had mentioned it, or I can't remember which one, but yeah, somebody had mentioned like if you aren't going to agree with this, well, then we're just going to have to get rid of you. And
Because
Hera's
you
like,
know too
absolutely
much.
not. We're not going there.
Right.
So
Oh, that would have sucked so bad. Yeah. Melissa, did you consider it?
I think they would have paid him off. He seemed to be financially struggling and, open to the money. So I think
Mhm.
for the right price, he would have walked if he wanted to stay. But I think they've been watching him for so long that they knew. I'm assuming the uncle's been watching him since childhood, since his sister passed or his mother. So they
Yeah.
kind of knew his personality.
Hmm. Absolutely. Karen, how about you?
I'm agreeing with most people. I think that they would have either killed him off or made his life very difficult um, if he
Yeah.
didn't step down.
Yeah. I think that is more his, but he stood up for his uncle. I don't know. I think they knew that that wasn't his dream, you know? Jameson, did you think about it? Like, did you expect him to walk away, or did you know that all along, or were you sitting on the edge of your seat, like, what is he gonna decide?
No, like I didn't. I expected like because it's called starter villain. I just expected him to like continue, but I felt like once they got there, like it wasn't really his decision
No.
to leave or stay. His uncle didn't leave him the business. Like it so I feel like his uncle never really intended for him to do it. And I think like the money that he got was the backup plan.
Ah,
Like I think that was the backup plan. Like he said, "Okay, I'll go." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're going to make your life easier
yeah,
because we can, I guess." But if he had said no, they would have been like, "Okay, well, here, we're if you take this money, does like I just think that the money that he got was the backup plan. And then I think Hera did the little like I mean, well they said she bought him the real estate, but I think the money was their backup plan.
I think you're onto something. Yeah, absolutely. Emily, how about you from a writer's standpoint? Did you know all along that he was gonna not like take over, or were you waiting for that as well?
No, I pretty much expected that he wouldn't, just because of the character development of Charlie. Like it doesn't suit him. It doesn't seem like something he would want to take on. Um, but I was surprised. I expected Jake to be alive.
Yeah,
Because they foreshadowed it, and then for it to be Dobrev, I was like, didn't see that, but it made sense since they were friends. But yeah, like Karen was saying, I think Melody mentioned it too. Um, they were going to kill him. They 100% were going to kill him, if because he knew too much, and that's where Hera does. She says, "Yeah, no, that's not even an option. We're not doing that. Move on." Like new plan. Um, but yeah, I definitely did not think that he would continue. I mean, you never know.
right.
Authors do weird shit.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Tiffany, how about you? Did you give any consideration to it, or did you kind of know like this isn't his thing, and I don't think even with the money and all that.
I was just kind of rolling with the story. So
Yeah.
I didn't really try to figure it out. I often do try to figure out what's going to happen. Um I feel like it could have gone either way. Like he could have become this like unionizing villain, which would have been fun. Or
Yeah.
he could have just been like, okay, can I go home now? This shit is exhausting.
I could
Just-
see pros and cons to both. I kind of just flew with it too. I'm a huge predictor too. But with this book, I don't know if it was just like the genre or whatever, but I didn't find myself doing that either. I was just wasn't sure, you know? The next question is, it's a little deeper. So just preface with that. If your mother was murdered because of one of the convocation members was denied access to your uncle's secret storeroom, would you wash your hands of the whole thing or continue to avenge her death like your uncle did by messing with their businesses? Um, would that be something like, would you feel compelled to destroy these people because they ultimately are the reason why your mom died? Or would you do like, screw this whole thing, it's evil? And we'll start back with Cicely.
So I mean, I think she's been avenged,
Mhm.
right? But also, like, if it's my mom,
Right.
I'm going to do something, probably. Um, but it seems like too for him, like it's been a really, really long time. It's been a really, really long time. This wasn't like she didn't pass last week or last year. Um, and his uncle was taking vengeance on these people for a really long time.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just so fresh to him. You know what I mean? To like realize what really happened. For me personally, I don't know that I'd be so angry that I wanted to like completely destroy these people. You know what I mean? They kind of destroyed themselves though. But he
Yeah,
didn't know that was going to happen. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Emily, how about you? I know you are a vengeful, vengeful lady.
So I can be, but I'm petty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm a Cancer. What can I say? I'm the middle child and the only redhead. So I in my vengefulness, I tend to hand you the rope to hang yourself, which is what I feel that Jake actually does. Is he goes through the whole process of basically going, well, y'all are kind of dumb, so we're gonna play this and let you hang yourself. Um, I think that like Cecily said, with it being so long, I don't know if I would want to continue it or if I would do like, Charlie does and just kind of be like, I just don't want anything to do with this. I think that knowing that the rumor and the understanding of what's in the vault in the cave is all like Nazi spoils of war. Like I just don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to touch it. Um, I would probably do the same thing. Either I would return it to them or I would turn around and be like, hey, Jewish government, you guys want to come and find all this stuff, Germans, you want to come pick up this stuff and redistribute it where it goes? You're responsible for it. I think that there'd be a part of me that wants to do that, but I don't. I think that they suffered enough by they basically destroyed themselves from the inside out, and
Right.
so a lot of them are already dead.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Jameson? I know that you, especially with someone you love, you can get real um tunnel vision with the anger.
Yeah. I mean, I think people misunderstand the Scorpio. When I say that I'll hold a grudge forever, being angry forever and hating someone forever is way too much negative energy for me. I will put your name in a jar and move on. Like I I just can't, I can't expend that kind of energy on a continuous basis. And like even Charlie said that he's like that occupied a lot of time. Like there was a lot of thinking about getting vengeance on these people. Um and she said, well, he would go for a very long time sometimes and not think about it. And then something would remind him of her. And that would probably happen to me too. But I could not continually be vengeful like that. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I put your name in a jar and get on with my life.
When you put somebody's name in a jar,
It's just the way,
what
like,
what
that
is
is just my way of saying, like, I don't know, like,
is it a binding?
sometimes it can be a binding, it can be like, it just depends on what you also put in the jar. Binding, like you're not going to harm anybody else, or sometimes it's like, you know what, maybe karma needs to hurry up. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. It works for me. So
I had to ask. I had to.
but it's not a thing you do lightly. Like, we don't just do this to everybody. Like, this person pissed me off today. Like, no, I mean, it's a serious thing for me, and
Yeah.
it's how I let it go. So,
I love that. I love that. I do a lot of binding with white light and white ribbon. So I was just curious if that was your way. Karen, how about you? Would you find yourself just so compelled to destroy these people?
No, I don't think so. Unless I could figure out a way I could do it and it would be impactful in their lives.
Mhm.
Um, but if it wasn't, then no. Um,
Yeah.
hold on. My, go- my, my husband was walking in the room and I was like, I want to talk to him about this. Run in there.
Oh,
Um, but no, I think I feel like a lot of the other ones, that it so much time had gone by that I mean, I think I would be upset to know that that's what happened. Um, but I agree with, I believe, Jameson, like, and I've had this where I've had grudges against people and it's just too much energy. Um,
it is. It's poison.
right,
Um, it really is. It genuinely is. It's very. I can't. I struggle with it. So I thought this question was like interesting to me to see what you guys thought or what you would do.
right.
You're right. It is. It is a waste of energy.
And I'm more likely to just drop somebody out of my life than sit there and worry about them or worry
Mhm.
about that, whether it's a family member or a good friend. If that something like that if I was holding a grudge, I would just exit my way out of their lives, probably.
That's probably the healthiest way,
Yeah.
honestly. Melissa, how about you?
I'm I'm on board with Karen and um, just kind of moving on and not holding on to so much hate. Plus, like they said, the uncle was already getting vengeance, and I have a feeling they're going to keep going with the uncle's plans after the
Right.
fact. So they're doing their thing. If I had the resources, maybe, but yeah, I'm more a move on kind of person, not having toxic people in my life. So if I need to cut someone out and move on for my own peace, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about you, Melody?
See, I want to say that I would be like, yes, I'm going after them and I'm going to make them pay, but I'm just not that kind of person. Like, cut you out of my life. Like, I just won't give you another thought. You won't even cross my mind anymore. Um, with, his mom's death, the amount of time that had passed, like he'd already accepted it. He'd come to his own terms with what he thought happened. I mean, finding out that it was different, but then finding out that his uncle was going after these people, like, I mean, I guess that would be good enough. I mean, I might want to go after them just because they're bad people.
Right? Right. I
The
don't
mother
know.
notwithstanding, like, take them all down.
Yeah. Nikki, how did you feel? I mean, like this is his mom. The grief is compounded and convoluted. Like his uncle he didn't get to know because of this. His mom died because of this. Like these people have like they were responsible for like the trajectory of his life. Would you be like, oh hell no, I'm done, or would you be like, you're gonna suffer like I suffered?
If you would have asked me like 10 years ago, it was I'll hold a grudge forever. and ever, and like you're going down. Now it's I want to, but I'm too exhausted too. Like I'm just gonna eventually forget about you and that's gonna be it.
Yeah. So the cognitive dissonance, is that from healing or is that just from burnout?
It's from healing.
Good for you. I love that. I love that. I don't really get to that point with healing, but I do get that point where I'm just like, oh, fuck it. Like everything's going in the fucking bucket.
Some of it
Um,
is from burnout, don't get me wrong, some of it, but I'm learning to let go of things.
Good for you. Good for you. Udi, how about you?
I'm the villain, baby. You come after my fucking mom? No. Especially like my birth mother, yeah, go. I fuck you. You can have her. I don't care. But the woman that picked me up and told my dad that I want this, give me this, and her mom put like saved my life essentially. I was like one of the 5% of drug babies that had withdrawal syndrome. I was supposed to be mentally challenged, socially withdrawn, like hell or high water. I was not supposed to be who I am today.
Oh,
And because of her and her mom, like I will move hell or high water. Like fuck you, I will hold a grudge. I will kill you and your fucking family. I don't care.
I'm so glad somebody else here is an angry little bear because
Oh
I
no,
was
I'm
like,
I'm
oh,
the
I'm
villain.
burning the whole place down.
Yeah, like I feel bad. Like I feel bad for my husband because I tell him, like I'm the villain in the story. I'm not gonna be little Miss fucking Cinderella that gets the happy ending. No, I'm fucking Jafar. I'm gonna burn the world for what like I believe in.
It's hard for me. I want to be a pacifist. I want to put them in a jar. I'm going to aspire to do that, Jameson. I'm going to get me a jar. But my instinct was like, oh my God, like they ruined his life. They must pay.
They did. They essentially took his mom, they took his uncle, like they took everything from him. And it just like, can you imagine if he like grew up with his mom around and it's sad.
It is. It is. I was mad for him. Stephanie, how about you? I know it's a touchy subject because you're like me. You don't have your mom with you. And I know how close you were to her. She was like your everything.
So I think I'm a mixture of both. Because before healing, I wanted to burn every fucking thing down like you said you would, and Udi. But I've also learned that grudges do take too much energy and it makes you sick. And part of healing from like a chronic illness is you have to let the stress go. So I
Hmm.
don't know if I would continue to ruin their lives, but I'd be thinking it like, oh, I want to get these people, but you can't really do that because it's just too much on you and it's really not worth it. But it's sad that he got his family taken away from him. That's not okay. But I think it shows bravery, him just walking away from it and not doing what he probably should do.
Right. That's why I agreed with some of you that loved him as a character. Like I had so much respect for him. Tara, how about you? Where do you stand on this? Would you be super angry or would you just feel like, you know what, they've done enough damage?
Um, I can hold a grudge until the day I die. Um, so when I feel like I've been personally wronged or somebody that I care about has been wronged, like I will do whatever I can to fix it. And I will just be like really angry with that person or those people for the rest of my life. Um, would I want to like go kill them or any of that? I don't know. Um, Thankfully, my mom is still here and I am very close with her. But my mother-in-law passed away last April very unexpectedly and traumatically. So I have that experience. And so knowing how bad that hurt, I know like it's going to be exponentially worse with my mom. And so I think if knew that my mom died because of somebody else's actions, I don't think I would ever let that go.
Right? I'm so sorry for your loss, but that's how I felt
Thank you.
too. Um, Losing my mom to cancer, I'm like mad, was mad at the world, mad at the universe and everything. So it was just like, I don't know. I would just be so overtaken with anger. Um, okay, my next question is going to be from Udi, and she would like to know, would you spend the 50 billion to have the 300-inch TV screen spy cave, or would you follow the same path as Charlie? So if you had the choice, what would you do? And I'll start with Tara.
I don't think I would want the spy cave because I feel like the cats can do that well enough.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I would need extra special spy capabilities. Plus, I just really want money.
Yes, I know. I know, me too. The whole time I'm like, are they going to give him the money? Are they going to give him money? Like the whole time. Stephanie, how about you?
I think I would probably be more practical like Charlie is, because all that money, it's just too much, and it could just change a life. It's not worth it to have a cool spy cave for $50 million.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. Although he's like threatened by like a lot of people, and I don't know if I'd be worried about myself or my the rest of my family, things like that, or friends or my cat. Udi, how about you? This is your question, so I know you've given it some thought.
Hell yeah. I'd spend all the money. I'm the bad villain. Let's go, ho. Let's
My
go.
gosh, you remind me of that guy from Despicable Me. What's his
Group?
name? Bruce.
Yes.
You're like, I'm the bad villain. You need to get,
Yes, let's
yeah,
go.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna take out all the bad guys. You ain't gonna see me coming. Like, let's go. I want that big.
I love it. I love it.
You should.
Back to you. Yeah.
My mom, I worked for my best friend at the farmer's market yesterday, right? We trade my dog back and forth with my mom and dad. She was like, I have Wesley. Da 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 da. I was like, okay, cool. I went to the dispensary for her, dropped off said gummies. Wesley was at the house. I was like, thought you had Wesley. Well, now you don't. And he came home with me. And I put the Dr. Evil me.
Nikki,
Yeah,
how about
I would spend the money.
you would spend the money? Okay. Yeah, I'm tempted.
I would spend the money. I would. But I don't know if I would have a spy cave because it's dark and it's cold and I don't like the dark and cold. So it'd be like probably like a spy cottage in the middle of the forest somewhere where nobody can find me type of deal.
Yeah, I'm thinking Spy Cabana on the beach somewhere would be
Ooh,
wonderful.
that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
How about you, Melody?
I'm spending the money. When am I ever going to get the chance to spend $50 billion on anything? Like I can't even fathom how much money that is. So yeah, I'm buying all the bells and whistles. Like I want to be Gru and Despicable Me. Like, I mean, I don't actually want to be I mean, Udi plays that character pretty well, but to
I
have all
love
the
it.
the gadgets and the spy gear and everything, like yeah, I'm down.
Absolutely. Melissa, how about you?
I agree. I probably would as well, so I could have my Batman experience. Especially if I'm
Right?
planning on leaving or I think I'm gonna leave. I'm like, well, while I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh my gosh, that's my wife's motto. She says it all the time. I'm like, we have to think about 20 years in the future. And she's like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Mind you, I had to give her the Heimlich yesterday because she choked on a gusher. Anyway, she lives dangerously. Karen, how about you?
I think I would rather just have the money, not spend it on a big spy cave. Now I always joke my husband would be the complete opposite. He'd want the bat cave and all that.
I think that might be kind of a dude thing. I think that that's like a big thing they dream about. You know how most women are stereotypically dream of their wedding and their baby?
Yes.
I think they think that they're going to grow up and be Batman.
Yeah.
So yeah. How about you, Jameson?
I don't think I would have spent it on a giant screen. I would probably spend some of it, but I always say if I had ridiculous amounts of money, a lot of people that I know would also have ridiculous amounts of money. And that's not very, very villain-like of me, but like if I love you and I can make your life easier, I should do that.
Yeah.
So I would probably have some little seaside cottage somewhere, and all of my friends would also have one, so I could go visit them.
Yeah.
No.
Right? Absolutely. It's so sweet. Emily, how about you?
Well, my husband always says it's only money. I'll just make more. Um, that's his quote all
I
the
love
time
that.
to me. Yeah, yeah. I ended up with my dream car, my dream shoes, and yeah, so it pays. But um, and so torn. I would probably find a way to like spend part of it to get some of the like gadgety things because I also look at it and go, but if I hang on to it and utilize it correctly, how much more villainous things can I do for a longer period of time? You have to
Yeah.
spend money to make money, but if you always spend money, then you don't have money. There's a balance. There's a
There's a
balance.
fine line. There's a fine
Yeah, a
line.
very fine line, very fine line. I waited till I was 40. Oh gosh, was I 43, 42 to get my dream car? So yeah, I
What's your
waited.
dream car?
I have a 2016 BMW M235i. I've already
Okay.
done a bunch of modifications on it, and I get good horsepower. Yeah, if you ever drive around Lancaster, the blue BMW that's loud as hell is me,
Okay, so
not some 20-year-old guy.
holy cow. So Erin has a dream car too. She has a bright neon pink Jeep and she has all these little pink ducks. So she's, if you guys ever see a neon
That's
pink Jeep,
awesome.
she has a
Love it.
crocheted, yeah, she has a crocheted thing of the tire in the back. So Cecily, how about you?
I would not make myself a bat cave, but I totally would buy sexy little properties in a couple of different places that I could run away to.
Kind of like Hera.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I I dug that. I was down for that. Um, so we'll end on this a two-parter. Um, so one of the major questions for all the book clubs that I looked into for this was, do you think Charlie was a good starter villain being thrown into all of this on a whim? And then the other part is, would you recommend this book to others? And out of 5 stars, what would you give it? So I'll start with Cicely.
So I thought he did pretty dang well starting out. Um, Honestly, being a substitute teacher may have given him a leg up because kids are vicious little heathens and they're always mean to the sub. Say
Right?
this as someone who has been both a child and a parent. Like, come on now. He's a
Yes.
substitute teacher. Um, I actually bought this book for my husband, like months ago, and he hadn't read it yet. And then I was like, "Oh, babe, you should read this. It's really funny." So he's reading it now.
Does he like it so far?
Yeah, but we've read a bunch of John Scalzi's other books. So,
I'm definitely going to check him out. Like, this is a
um,
new genre for me, so I'm excited to like read more of it.
yeah, he's fun. He's fun.
Yeah.
But
Emily, how about you? So do you think he was a good starter villain? I feel like you come with a little bit more of a critical eye, so I'm curious.
Um, I I think he does. Sorry, I'm like sealing letters here. Um, I think he does. He does a really good job. I think that, like Cecily points out, being a substitute teacher, he's kind of used to the petty BS that, everybody kind of tries to pull. They are behaving like children. I have a background in teaching. Want to strangle them, so I don't teach anymore. If I did, it would always be college because, you're there because you want to be, not because you have to be.
Right.
But I think too that his background as a
Mhm.
journalist in the business world is what really was the clincher because he was able to see through all of their lies and all of their everything else. And I think that was something that Jake saw,
Yes.
and that was why, because I feel like that was all foreshadowed like really, really well because his critiques of the pieces that are like written about his uncle by these other journalists. He's like, they were shit. You know, and I think that background allowed him to see through. And I think Jake knew that was going to be the case, and that was why he wanted him. But also, it's like his last gift, Jake's last gift to Charlie, to be able to watch the implosion from the inside.
I know that was diabolical.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you
absolutely.
recommend the book to other people?
I would. It's not something I typically read, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And I would definitely recommend to people to listen to Will Wheaton narrate it,
Right.
because that was just too much.
Yeah. Jameson, how about you? I know you love Charlie. Do you think he made a good starter villain?
I think he did what he had to do. I do think, yeah, I think he was good at it. I don't think he would have been good at it long term. Like, I think he's just too laid back and too, like, I mean, he wants to like run a pub and maybe write a book, and that just doesn't seem like villain material to me. I think he was very well written, and I loved the character and Will Wheaton.
Oh my gosh, so good.
And
So,
I
so
have
good.
already told about 3 people, you have to read this book. Like, one of them is just because they're a cat person, and I know that they'll love the cats. I wasn't going to say anything, but I've been listening to this, and I was listening to this on my way to work, and was so distracted. I was so distracted listening to the book and trying to listen to directions because there was a street closed, and I got in a car accident.
No.
I did. And I couldn't pick, like, I couldn't listen to the book after that. Like, it took me like 3 days to decide I was going to listen to the book again because I was so
Oh my
upset about my
God.
car.
Oh my God, that's terrible. Did like the
No,
car
everybody's
messed up?
fine. It was a minor accident. Like, it just, but I was so, like, I never do that. I have gone my entire life and never had a car accident. And I
You were so immersed.
yeah, it was bad. I was very emotionally, I was very upset. But anyway, like, the book is, yes, I have told 3 people. I was like, you've got, I did not tell them I crashed into another car. Um, yeah, I felt like an idiot. But
Oh
um
no. No, no,
yes,
that's so
I
something
loved
I
it.
would
It was
do.
so great. And I have told about 3 or 4 people, like, go read this book. And oh, I know the other thing. Sometimes I can listen to a book that I can't read. I think if I had been reading this, I probably would have had trouble getting through it. But sometimes if I listen to an audiobook, like, it just, there's a certain, I don't know. I also listened to the last book that we read, and maybe it's because they're funny and I can hear it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I read the first half on the book. And then when you said that about Will Wheaton in the last meeting, I was like, oh my God, I got to get it. And so the second half was so much more enjoyable to me. And I'm like, I don't know if I just wasn't picking up on all the different funny parts that he like emphasized, but it made it so much better for me. So, and I'm so sorry about your car. Oh my gosh, and I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. The other guy was fine. I'm just now, just like, everybody send me good vibes that my car's not totaled and that they can fix it. That's all.
Oh, thank God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen, how about you? Would you recommend it out? Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I thought it was funny. Definitely parts of it. I gave it about a 3.5 stars. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't like over the top my favorite book.
Best book
Um,
ever. Right. That's where
yeah.
Erin was at, just so you know, you're not alone. She struggled with it a little bit, and so that's why she gave it the 3.5.
Yeah, so but I will recommend it to others, and I think I may have said it last week. This has been picked for another book club that I'm in.
Yes.
So, it'll be interesting to hear their takes on it too. Um,
Yeah. I'm
but yeah,
curious.
it's definitely I liked it. I liked him enough that I would probably try to read another of his books
Yeah.
to
So
see if I like it.
do you guys consider this satire? What genre is this? It's not, is it, does anybody know? Is it comedy? Like what? where does this fall? Because I've never read anything like it before. It's like fantasy and humor combined. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. It's just not something that I typically
Right.
gravitate towards. Melissa, how about you?
I agree. I tried reading it at first on my Kindle and struggled a bit. Switched to audio. I definitely feel like Will Wheaton made the book go a
Yeah.
lot smoother. I did give it 4 stars out of 5. It was on my TBR for a while solely because someone in my other book club had it on their Amazon wish list. And when we did our book exchange, I actually bought her this book. So I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I'm going to put it on my TBR. So I was really excited to read it. I think it'll definitely be up her alley. It fits her personality very well. But I would check out some other ones just to kind of see. It's not a genre I usually gravitate to. So I'd want to check out more.
Did you think Charlie made a good starter villain?
I think he did. He had a lot of personality that he brought to it, like with the dolphins, whereas they didn't, and with the computer screen, where I don't think they would have handled it that way. I think he brought something different to the table.
Yes, I agree. I agree. How about you, Melody? Did you enjoy it? What like star would you give it? Would you recommend it out?
Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would probably give it 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it a lot. I've recommended it to quite a few people. I'm glad everybody seems to have enjoyed it. I didn't intend for it to cause any accidents, Jameson.
Oh my gosh, I know, I know. It was really good. Unexpectedly so.
Yeah, and I have a couple more of his books on my list now that I've checked out. So like I'm looking forward to reading those. And I thought Charlie was a great starter villain. I thought he kind of took to the role pretty well just because he had to, but I think he did a way better job than I would have done.
Right? Me too. Me too, especially with everything he got hit with. How about you, Nikki?
There we go. I definitely thought he was the perfect starter villain. He was witty, he was quick to catch their bullshit. Like, to me, that's what a starter villain is. As for the book, I gave it 5 stars. It's not something I've ever like read, genre-wise, but I liked it. It was a quick read. It went very smoothly, and if it can make me laugh out loud, especially with the fucking dolphins, like I'm
Right.
down.
Yeah, there was such an awesome part of the book. Udi, how about you?
I've already recommended it to people. I fucking loved it. I was cackling, like I almost peed my pants at parts. They were so funny. I gave it a 5 star.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
I love
And
that.
what was the other part of the question?
Did you think Charlie was a good starter villain?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I think the fact that he was a substitute teacher and had all to deal with all those kids, yes, 100%. I loved his quick-wittedness. Like he did not take anybody's shit. I
He
felt like he
didn't.
did an amazing job.
I love that about him too. I love that about him. He stood his ground, and that was really, really cool. However, I think we may have found out what you want to be when you grow up. I think your calling might be villain. There's
That
a
would be
passion
nice,
there that I
right?
haven't seen in you before. How about you? Uh-oh, the mute button. Stephanie? Hello. There you
Oh,
go.
sorry. Okay.
Hey, honey. You're
Sorry.
good.
Um, so I gave it 4 stars. I think it was great. It's a great book. I've told people about it. I'm trying to get Robert to read it. Um, Not sure if he will, but I think he would enjoy it too.
I think you
And
would too.
and I really think that he did make a great starter villain because of his background in journalism and the substitute teacher. I love that he could, like what Nikki said, see through all the bullshit that they were giving him. And he was just perfect. Like, he's naive, but he's also very worldly too.
Yeah, I like how much we were able to bond over our cats and laugh and have a good time with it. We kind of needed something a little lighthearted. I love that. Tara, how about you?
I thought that he was a good starter villain, and I thought that he did really well at sticking to like his beliefs and what he thought was right. Um, I really liked this book. I would say I've never done like the star system before, but I would say probably four. I have recommended it to people. I've known other people that have read it and loved it, and I went back and, like I said last week, read that part about the dolphins to my husband because I was dying laughing. Um, and I did pick up another one of his books. I can't remember which one it is. I found it at a library book sale, but I haven't started it yet. So I'm interested to see if I like other books that he's written.
Right, right. And I'm gonna follow him on Blue Sky. That's so cool. Well, so just so you know, you and I had a discussion the last time that we were doing a nomination for books, and you said, I'm not gonna nominate one. I'll just go ahead and vote because mine never gets picked. Well, I said, no, don't say that because eventually, process of elimination, it will. And it was. So your
Yay!
book won, and that is going to be Bad Liar by Tammy Hogue. And we are going to read to the end of chapter 11 for next week. So yeah, your book got chosen. And I just wanted to ask if anybody had any questions or concerns for this meeting, anything we didn't go over. No, we're good. Yay.
I
Okay,
wanted
awesome.
to say I loved seeing everybody's cats and whether or not they would be spies in the Facebook group. That totally made my day.
Oh my gosh, it made everybody say that was so awesome. It was so awesome. I didn't know everybody had so many cats. It's great.
Y'all make me so jealous because I don't have any cats. I got two dogs, but now I want a cat so bad, but I'm allergic.
Oh, I'm allergic to cats, but I found a domestic short hair that doesn't shed, and he sings all the time. He's a joy. So yeah, I highly recommend getting a cat. Otherwise, I hope you guys have happy reading. I'll put all the announcements in our post. Otherwise, I love you all. Have fun. Have a great week. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye.